Alright, hello citizens of the Nigelverse. It is Niger once again, and this is going to be another predictions video. So, tonight is NXT Battleground. Gold is on the line, some old scores are going to be settled, and there's some crossover appeal. For starters, we are going to be in the UFC Apex in Las Vegas, Nevada. So we already have the UFC crossover, so NXT is coming into UFC's territory, which makes sense because as now WWE and UFC are under the same umbrella, that being TKO Holdings, but they're not the only crossover showing up on the show. But of course, if you've seen these predictions of mine before, you already know how this works. If you haven't, I'm going to be going match by match and talking about who I think is going to walk out victorious with each match. It is worth mentioning that this is just the order that they have them on the wiki. Doesn't mean they'll be necessarily the final order that will happen come match time. And I'm also going to be uploading this around. I'm hoping to have it out by about 7 o'clock or so. Worst case scenario, go right up at like 8 or maybe even 7:30. Pretty much get it out before showtime. But worst case scenario, if you happen to watch this after NXT Battleground, maybe this will be kind of a look into the past, kind of like oh wow, Nigel got that spot on, that person won, or oh wow, Nigel's way off with that prediction, and it's probably going to be a little bit both. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So we start off with the ladder match for the NXT Women's North American Championship. The first ever Women's North American Champion will be crowned in this ladder match as Sol Ruka will battle Lash Legend, Fallon Henley, Jada Parker, Michin, and Kalani Jordan. And so, of course, Harrison, this is a nice callback. So, first of all, the NXT Women's North American Championship was first announced at Stand and Deliver. And so a new champion is going to be crowned here. But also it's a nice callback because the first ever NXT North American champion, the men's side, was crowned at NXT in a ladder match, in a 6-man ladder match at NXT Takeover New Orleans, and now, with Ricochet on his way out of WWE, now none of those people are going to be in WWE anymore, or when it's all said and done. And I am going to talk more about like Ricochet exiting WWE later on, but it is crazy that now nobody in that match is going to be in WWE anymore. But it is a nice callback. And as for the look of like the Women's North American Championship, it does look very similar to the men's. I do like how the main glow part is now red because the strap's no longer the red/burgundy for the women. It's now white. But yeah, so as for this ladder match, all these women have been getting a decent amount of momentum, and really I could see this going a number of ways. But I think I'm gonna go with Lash Legend on this one. And she's been kind of doing her thing with like Trick Williams and everything, and the metaphor, which we'll get to as well. But later on, but yes, I think she's gonna walk out victorious. But this could go. I could see any of these 6 women walking out with the Women's North American Championship. I think I'm gonna go with Lash Legend. But next up, it'll be the men's turn in triple threat action for the men's NXT North American Championship. Obafemi will be defending against both Wesley and Joe Coffey. So Gallus have inserted themselves. More specifically, Joe Coffey here has been inserting themselves into the NXT North American title picture. Meanwhile, Wesley showed up from injury way ahead of schedule. Not too long ago, so he's back in the North American title picture, or aka the title he had to, I believe he had to vacate the North American Championship. Either that or I think he was going to fight for the North American Championship, but that obviously fell through because of his injury. But Wesley, he was on that John Cena schedule where he came back way ahead, and then meanwhile Obafemi has been North American Champion for a while. I believe he won it back at Deadline, if I'm not mistaken, or it might have been before or that. But nevertheless, that's where this is gonna go. I think probably I could see this going any of the 3 ways, but I think it'll probably come down to either Obafemi or Wesley. Wesley, of course, coming back not too long ago. Has quite a bit of momentum. And so I think this one could. So this one I think will, like I said, will boil down to those two. But I think, you know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna go with Wesley on this one. And but he's definitely got that star factor, and his reign as North American champion has been solid. But I think I'm gonna go with Wesley on this one. He came back not too long ago, so it seems like that kind of strike while the iron is hot kind of ordeal. So I think I'm gonna go with Wesley on this one. But then the NXT Underground match, as Shayna Baszler will battle against Lola. These two have been tag team partners, and they've been rivals, and now it's come here to the Underground. You remember Raw Underground? Yeah, me neither. But they're kind of bringing it back to NXT here. And I believe they had a match similar to that at Spring Break, if I'm not mistaken, or they were supposed to, but nevertheless they're going to be battling it out again here. This one I could see going either way again, but I think I'm gonna go with Lola Vice on this one. She's been getting quite a bit of momentum, and man, it looks like she might get a sizable little push in NXT. Although Shayna is, of course, or hopefully Shayna does get any more substantial push. She kind of has as well here, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Lola Vice here. Next up, this is a match a lot of people have been talking about. Roxanne Perez will be defending the NXT not the NXT North America, the NXT Women's Championship against the TNA Knockouts champion Jordynne Grace. That's right, the Forbidden Door has been kicked open, and Jordynne Grace from TNA making her way over to NXT. She was the surprise opponent for Roxanne Perez, so Roxanne's going to be defending against Jordynne Grace here at Battleground, and it's crazy to think, how WWE and TNA now have this working relationship. Of course, we're back at the Women's Royal Rumble in 2022. Mickey James, who was Knockouts champion at the time, was in the Rumble match, and then earlier on this year, Jordynne Grace was in the Royal Rumble as well. Also, kind of continued that working relationship between WWE and TNA, when at one point they were rival. At one point TNA was kind of positioned that AEW was in, where a lot of people thought they were finally going to be the ones, like the new upstart promotion that would knock WWE off their perch, and in hindsight, not really the case, but it's crazy how they were competitors, and they even went head to head. In fact, Wrestling Regret just did a video on the second Monday Night Wars, the mini one between WWE and TNA, which was a lot less evenly split than the one between WWE and WCW, but nevertheless, as now, WWE and TNA do have this working relationship, and it's culminated here, and it has gotten a lot of people talking about who else from the Forbidden Door, at least on the TNA side of things, is going to come over and be a part of like WWE programming, and some people speculate whether it be Mustafa Ali, whether it be Moose. Some people have even said Joe Hendry, which would be pretty cool, at least just for the meme of his theme song. Hey, say his name and he appears. But as for this one, I don't think Jordynne Grace is taking the NXT Women's Championship with her over to TNA. So I think we'll go with Roxanne Perez here. But this definitely will be an interesting concept, and I'm super interested to see how this goes, and to see how and to see what else they will do with the working relationship between WWE and TNA. And it's crazy how so many years ago, if you told like a TNA fan or even a WWE fan like 10 years ago that, hey, in 10 years, first in 2022, but then in 2024, WWE and TNA will have a working relationship, yeah, that would have been surprising. And if you told them the amount of stars from WWE who would be making their way into TNA and vice versa, it would have been surprising. Like, it would have been unfeasible, but now it's very feasible. It's happening. So I want to see where the relationship continues to expand between WWE and TNA here. But so this one on this was just a part of another like major or episode of NXT, which also I forgot to mention, and this event is going to be hosted. The special guest host is going to be Sexy Red, who made her appearance on NXT a few weeks ago. So she's going to be hosting this event. Hence, but yeah, but I think we'll go with Roxanne Perez there. Then next up for the NXT Tag Team Championships, Nathan Frazier and Axiom will be defending against the OC, that being Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. So Gallows and Anderson made their way into the NXT brand, and not so long ago, like a few months ago. Meanwhile, Nathan Frazier and Axiom won the NXT tag titles from Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin, and now these two sides are going to be facing off, and it seems like Gallows and Anderson might be making their way potentially back up to SmackDown now that the OC's kind of reunited. AJ Styles is kind of reunited with Gallows and Anderson, especially after doing the whole Mark Henry fake retirement and do the whole Mark Henry fake retirement thing, and so that could, but so maybe it's that reason why I think this one might go to Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Then they won them not too long ago. Like they won them, I think, like the little NXT right after Stand and Deliver, which was kind of head scratching because like what was the point of Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin retaining at Stand and Deliver if they were just gonna lose them literally a couple days later, and it does make sense because Braun Breaker is on his way up to was at the time on his way up to the main roster. Now he's on the main roster and doing some phenomenal stuff there. But yeah, so I think we'll go with Nathan Frazier and Axiom here. And then last, truly not least, for the NXT Championship, Trick Williams will be defending against All Ego Ethan Page. Yep, you heard me right. Ethan Page is just now in WWE. He was the one who attacked Noam Dar and Oro Mensah. The thing is Ethan Page kind of teased like, hey, I am not entirely signed with WWE NXT just yet, but now he officially is, and now he's officially getting this championship match against Trick Williams, and Trick saying that saying that whatever it takes, just sign Ethan Page so I can beat him at NXT Battleground. And Ethan Page being revealed as the attacker, and kind of the whole mystery attacker who attacked Noam Dar and Oro Mensah, kind of putting a strain on like the kind of relationship, flirtationship, what have you, between Trick Williams and Lash Legend. But yeah, it all comes to a head here. But it's kind of weird at the same time. Like Ethan Page being brought in from AEW. Ethan Page left AEW earlier in the year and now is in NXT. But it's kind of weird. Like it seemed like the direction was Trick Williams versus Noam Dar. Trick Williams been feuding with the Metaphor, been having kind of his aforementioned kind of relationship with Lash Legend, and so it seemed like it was gonna lead to Trick Williams versus Noam Dar for the NXT title, but it looks like it's been swapped out for Ethan Page. Like, I'm not against Ethan Page being revealed as the attacker, although it's kind of weird that a heel is essentially attacking another heel because the Metaphor are heels and everything. But it seems kind of weird. Why the change? Why why you have it go one direction and then you have it go Ethan Page? I imagine probably because like Ethan Page is new and he's this big new star they're bringing into NXT, and so wanting to put him in this high profile match, like right out of the gate, just like bam, he comes in, bam, he's going after the NXT Championship. But it's kind of weird, at least for me. Maybe I'm alone in that it's kind of weird for me how this is being set up. But nevertheless, how I probably would have did it is maybe like. Honestly, I would have had Trick versus Noam Dar here tonight at Battleground, and then have Ethan Page show up. Like, have Noam Dar, battle Trick Williams, like, I want the NXT Championship because you attacked me, I think you attacked me. Have, Noam Dar be under the assumption that Trick was the one who attacked him, but then Ethan Page shows up at the end, and at Battleground, and then attacks Trick Williams and reveals he was the one who attacked Noam Dar and Oro Mensah, trying to frame Trick Williams and everything, and then have that championship match at the next NXT event. I'm not sure which one it is. I think it's Heat Wave, the TV special, I think. And, no. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay, so this is gonna be a full on. It's gonna be a full on event, and it's gonna be in Toronto. Ooh, okay. Hey, but hey, yeah. So, kind of weird how they did that, but no. As for this match, this one, and I think that's the other reason why I want to do it this way, because now WWE's kind of in the corner a little bit. It like on one hand, Ethan Page just showed up, making this big impact. Hey, I was the one who attacked Noam Dar and Ora Mensa. But at the same time, Trick is NXT champion. He won it not too long ago. He won it at a spring break from Ilya Dragunov, as Ilya Dragunov was making his way to the main roster. Or, so it's kind of a like hey, you don't necessarily want Trick to lose just yet, but I think it's too early to pop the NXT title on Ethan Page. But but you also don't want Ethan Page to lose so early. So it's kind of a weird way to go about it. But I think ultimately I am ultimately gonna go with Trick Williams on this one, and I don't think Trick is dropping it just yet. But nevertheless, I think that is going to do it for my predictions. So, as for the strongest and weakest match of the night, the strongest probably. I'm probably gonna go with the NXT Women's Championship. I think that's the one everybody's looking forward to. Who the ladder match I can tell is gonna be a lot of fun because I love me some ladder matches. And the NXT Championship I think is gonna be interesting. And the weakest maybe the NXT Tag Team Championship match, but not. And remember when I say like strongest and weakest match, doesn't mean like hey when I say like weakest match, I don't necessarily mean the match is gonna be bad, just not as like good or compelling as the other stuff, or that people won't pay as much attention to. But this is gonna be an interesting card. But let me know in the comments below your thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, please do me a favor: like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends. And turn on post notifications so you know every time I upload videos, see as drops. And put your NXT Battleground predictions in the comments. Who you think is going to walk out victorious? Who you think is going to walk out as champion? But nevertheless, thank you all so much for watching. I will see you guys later. Peace.